Stop me if you've heard this before. The presidential candidates are in Pennsylvania. Today, they're in opposite parts of the Keystone State. Vice President Harris in Erie with a speech with some policy proposals and messaging directed specifically toward black male voters. As I mentioned, the campaign has several policy proposals, among them in supporting small business startups and healthcare initiatives. Meanwhile, former President Trump is going to hold a town hall outside of Philadelphia, Montgomery County to be specific. We'll get back to that in a second. Trump is expected to focus on the economy, but in recent days has issued rhetoric on immigration more strident than any heard in modern American history. We start tonight, though, with CBS News polling, brand new polling, that shows the race continues to be very close, both nationally and in battleground states. And that polling data also paints a troubling picture about how voters see each party in our country. I want to bring in CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, your friend and mine, Anthony Salvanto. Anthony, talk to us about the story within the story of our polling data most recently.
Hey there, Major. So you mentioned a tight race, and yeah, it's so tight, it's effectively even in Pennsylvania and all these other battlegrounds. But the reason we haven't seen much movement is that it's not just two different camps talking about who should be elected or how things should move forward. It's very different views of how they see the U.S. right now. Hurricane relief is one example of that, where 90% of Kamala Harris's voters saying, yeah, hurricane relief is going to people impacted by the hurricane. Two-thirds of Trump voters saying, no, it's not going to people impacted by the hurricane. You've heard the former president's comments on that. But it's not just hurricane relief. It's the condition of the economy. Two-thirds of Harris voters saying it's good. They're also more likely to say the stock market is up for the year. 9 in 10 Trump voters saying it's bad. Less likely to say things like the U.S. has added jobs or the stock market is up. All of which underpins that central theme that it's close, it's not moving, partly because of the big differences in how these two groups see the world and the information that they're getting, Major.
And on the question of the closeness of the race, Anthony, does our data suggest any perceptible and possibly important movement one way or the other in the last couple of weeks?
Really hasn't moved much, Major. I'll go back to those horse race numbers. And, you know, the battleground, the cross-battleground number, 50-49, the national number, +3 Harris, that's a tick tighter. That's 1 point tighter than it was. That's not a lot. My advice for everybody is don't make too much of small 1-2 point movements in the polling, but rather look at A, turnout, which you all are going to talk about, which will probably be determinative, and B, look at what's underpinning this. Not just deep divisions, but these deep differences in how people assess what's going on in the country. I want to show you one more thing, because I think it's important. We've also seen a gender gap in the voting. More women for Harris, more men for Donald Trump. And in that, we saw something really, I think is important. For Harris voters, they say that efforts at gender equality are not going far enough in the U.S. But a majority of Trump voters, especially the men among them, say that those efforts are going too far. It's not just public policy matters that divide people or people see differences on. It's these larger social shifts that we've seen and how people respond to them. All of that underpins some of these dramatic differences between the two camps, Major.
Anthony Salvanto, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.